That's actually going to be a story that we're going to be covering today, everybody. We'll be covering Olivia Rodrigo. I never thought I'd be doing that or listening to the song like I just was, but I actually get it. It's not bad there, bro. I was
That's
like,
pretty good.
it was all right. I mean, I can get behind it. I see where people are coming from this thing. Welcome back from a great weekend, everybody. As always, we have Anthony behind the camera right now making all the magic happen. We'll make sure that we cover some great news that you need to know. If you don't know that we first time with us, we do this show live every day, or at least we try to when we're here in office. Bring you stories that we think you're going to find interesting, but that perhaps are not being covered by Fox News or at the top of your Apple feed. We've got 6 great stories that we're going to be covering here for you today. And Anthony, of course, will give some insight as we both come up with these every single morning to try to bring some great news into your world. Our 6 stories of the day, everybody, is first of all, we've got a white-collar wipeout happening right now for jobs across the country. We're going to talk about what Anthropic, that's the people that handle everything over with Claude, what they have to say about it. ClickUp is giving us an inside look at what an AI company can actually do. That's a $4 billion valuation on them. We've got a Michigan town that is now being overrun by bulldozers and construction that they did not want for data centers. Central Florida, we're going to be talking to you. We're based in Orlando as the housing boom that we knew is over. And next, we're going to talk about Olivia Rodrigo. Never thought that I would say that name on this podcast. We're going to talk about her viral moment and what it means to businesses. And we're going to end with my plea to the New York Knicks, everyone. I am not a Knicks fan, never been one, but I'm telling you, New York, if you want me to become a fan, I've got the way to make it happen, and I'll be a fan for life if you can do this one right here for me. So we got a great show, everybody. Of course, make sure if you do watch our live feed right here, drop a comment. And if you are over on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Let's get right into our first story of the day. And if you have not been keeping up, everybody, we've been talking on this show about AI and jobs and the fact that right now in the tech sector, we have lost over 100,000 jobs. Most recently, first it was Oracle, and then it was Meta. And then last week, I want to say there was another one there, Anthony, as well that we covered. Cloudflare with the layoffs that it had. So it's no surprise right now that AI jobs are going somewhere. But this study that Anthropic did told us what AI is capable of versus what it's actually doing right now. Let me explain, everybody. Anthropic, this is who uses Claude when you do all of your searches. They looked at millions of real conversations that people were having with AI, and they matched those conversations against 800 different jobs that are out there. And what they found is that AI could do currently right now 94% of all the computer and math work that those jobs would need. However, that AI is only being used for 33% of those jobs, meaning there is a big gap right now that can easily be filled by AI and is being filled quickly. We are seeing what is called the white collar recession, everyone. What does this look like? It means that people ages 22 to 25 in AI heavy fields, I'll back up for a second. The part that we don't want to miss, this is where the interesting part about it. Employment for workers ages 22 to 25 in AI heavy fields has fallen by 16%, meaning that if you're just getting out of college right now and you're looking to get into a job like engineering, math, something that's going to require finance, that those jobs have dropped off like crazy. Over 16% of those jobs are gone. And with the gap we have right now between what is capable and what we're using AI for, what it means, Anthony, is that these jobs are going to continue to disappear in the next 3 to 5 years and much sooner than that. The only thing that is stopping these jobs from disappearing in the next 12 months is that leadership of many organizations is hesitant to put in AI. While people are arguing about should we use ChatGPT or Claude or Google for our searches, it is already happening right now in front of us that these jobs are being taken by AI. And like we said last week when we looked at the study of business owners, 80% of business owners said they don't understand AI to the level that they claim they do. And therefore, they're hesitant to implement that AI within their company. And that is the only thing keeping these jobs from disappearing off the books in the next 12 months. It is because entrepreneurs are scared and they're not implementing it fast enough, even though it's capable of streamlining their business, cutting down costs and making them more efficient.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, ever since we started this podcast, we've been just seeing a pattern of just
It's nonstop.
yeah, and we're noticing it, and like honestly, business owners, if you're not do using it now, you got to use it like start right now and just start
Now.
Yeah,
You're behind.
Mhm.
We saw the study last week. 6 out of 10 Gen Z men are turning to blue collar jobs instead of college and white collar. 6 out of 10. I think it was 2,500 Gen Z men that we did in that study that were surveyed last week.
Yep.
And there's a reason for that. They're looking at this as job security. They're looking at it that it's going to be much less likely in the next 3 to 5 years that we're going to have a robot come out there to fix your pipes in your home. So I'm going to become a plumber. Less likely I'm going to have somebody that can lay down tile. So you know what? I'm going to become a floor. And somebody can put shingles on a roof. So I'm going to become a roofer. There is an exodus from white collar into blue collar for good reason right now. And it's because people feel there's more job security there. And that is where the opportunities are in the next 3 to 5 years. What can't happen, though, is this, Anthony, and I warn all my blue collar guys out there, just because we have more people wanting to be involved in the trades doesn't mean there's going to be a greater demand for the trades. We're going to talk about this as a story of what's happening in Florida with the housing market, what's happening with job security right now, and what people are doing with their money. You must be more efficient at the blue collar level if you want to be successful, because what people are looking at is, do I have as much job security? Do I want to save money, or do I want to spend money right now? Bull market, bear market, where are we at? And I think that the average consumer is looking at the market, no matter where they're at in their job, no matter what they do. And they're like, man, do I want to go spend $1,000 on a couch, or do I want to go put a down payment down on a roof right now? Questionable, because they're looking at this and the job security is not there like it was. And it used to be that white collar jobs were thought in the beginning that they're going to hold on to this because the people at the top were going to be safe from the AI boom, while it might be lower level or administrative jobs that went away. What we're seeing is very different than that. We're seeing that those upper level management, those $180,000 to $250,000 jobs a year, those are the ones that are disappearing, or those individuals are being asked to do more with less. They're being asked to do more with a smaller team that they have, and they need to become more efficient. So Anthropic is only telling us what we already knew. AI is far more capable of doing things than we are giving it we're giving it like the credit. We're giving it the, not the credit for, but we're giving it the bandwidth for. It can do far more than we're giving it the ability to do, or we haven't like let off the reins of this thing yet. I'm trying to think of how to phrase that, Anthony.
I want to go back though. I liked your point too, where it's like, you think, oh, as a blue collar worker, it's not going to affect me, but it might affect your clientele, because
absolutely
the white collar worker who has like all this money, they're not going to be spending it as much because either they just got laid off or they're just trying to conserve right now because they don't know what's going to happen to their job, so they're not going to spend the money to go fix their roof or do whatever they need to do to spend.
Yes. You're absolutely right. Just because we're seeing an exodus into blue collar, meaning more people want to enter into the trades, doesn't mean the demand for the blue collar product is on the rise.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's an amazing opportunity right now for blue collar businesses to do more with less, to become leaner right now. And they have the ability to do that, Anthony, because they can make changes quickly. I see a lot of private equity companies in all the trades. We work with many of them. They're slow to make any kind of adjustments right now because there's too much bureaucracy. And as I said earlier, they're arguing about, as a company, should we be using Claude or should we be using Gemini? And that way we all are on the same system. Folks, stop. If you're arguing about petty stuff like that, I want to lead you into our next story right here, which will show you just how far behind you are right now and how you need to stop arguing about the petty crap and get on board with AI now in your business, because other companies are already crushing you and you're not even aware. Anthony, that brings us into our next story. We're going to be talking about ClickUp. All right. They have admitted that they're using they are admitting that they are using 3 AI robots for every 1 human employee. They just said the quiet part out loud, everyone. I'll tell you, Fortune ran this piece last week, and it's the first real numbers that we've gotten a chance to look at inside of an AI company. If you've heard of ClickUp, they're about a $4 billion software company. You've probably used them or you've fallen into one of their funnels. They admitted out loud what everyone has been thinking, what Meta was afraid to say. At least Cloudflare said it last week when they terminated people, that it was because the jobs have become obsolete because of AI. Now, ClickUp is saying we are using 3 AI agents for every 1 human employee. That is unbelievable. And they're not stopping. They said, quote, we are, quote, rewiring work itself. Small business owners are looking at ChatGPT. They're looking at how can I get, my one bot to do something for me, like, I don't know, check my email. Folks, these are companies that are saying, hey, we're actually going to get the majority of our work done by bots. Not some, not kind of half, but like 3 to 1 what they're going to do. That's incredible, everybody. Now, I want to revert back if I can. I understand that if you watch this show, sometimes it can seem like doom and gloom when it comes to AI. It is not, folks. When they created the tractor, did all the jobs go away from being the horse in the field? No. There had to be somebody out there that was going to change the tires on the tractor, that was going to make sure the blades were sharp so it could cut. When the horse and buggy was gotten rid of by the car, when it came out, does that mean that all of a sudden everybody lost their job? No, those people that were working in the stables became somebody who worked on the front line building those cars. Somebody had to be there to change the oil. Somebody had to be there to put new tires on it. Jobs and careers are going to change dramatically and quickly over the next 3 years. Now, what you can't do is sit on the sidelines and say, I'm just going to continue to use my horse and buggy while everybody else graduates to cars and airplanes. It's not doom and gloom. It's opportunity for you to do things more efficiently within your business. And if you choose not to take that chance because you want to be married to the past, you are going to lose. Not because you don't do great work. There are so many companies, Anthony, that are doing amazing work right now. If entrepreneurs, if you're watching this, it's not enough anymore to put on a great product. It's not enough for word of mouth or for a few people to know that you do great work. You have the opportunity right now to put your product quickly in front of massive amounts of people. And if you are great at what you do, shouldn't you want that? Right? Shouldn't you want your product to be in front of more people?
I think a lot of business owners need to look at it as not like a terrible thing, but just instead of like being pessimistic about it, be like, oh no, AI and all this stuff. You got to be optimistic. Be like, this is amazing. What can we do to implement this? What can we automate? What can we make better? What can we make easier?
Yes.
And just making it like how you're saying doom and gloom. You got to look at it the opposite. You got to look at this as like, this is amazing. This is awesome. What?
True story here, Anthony. I'm not going to say any names, but I want to be open with people. On Friday afternoon, after you had left, I had a conversation with an HVAC installer. Okay. First had a conversation with the son, then I had a conversation with the father. Father says to me something along the lines of, I'm in late 50s. I'm over all this AI stuff and I'm just going to do the work. And I thought to myself, I'm like, you're in your late 50s. I know other businesses that we have that what they're doing in their late 50s is far beyond what any 20-year-old is even thinking of. And I would challenge business owners to stop thinking about your age. Age doesn't matter. It's what you understand about AI and how you use it that can catch you up like that. A couple of weeks of learning about how these programs work will make it far less scary for you as a business owner. And it will allow you to implement little things within your business that will give you the leg up on the competition. I'm going to tell you that most blue-collar businesses, the people that we work with, they're not nearly using AI to its capabilities. As we just saw from that Fortune article, only 33% of AI's capabilities are being used across an estimated 800 jobs right now. And I would say in the blue-collar space, that number is far less. Creating amazing opportunities for the trades if somebody is willing to think outside the box, stop doing things the way they have always done them, and implement systems that are going to scale for your business. That can be in marketing, it can be in production, it can be in sales. You have to get with it, everybody. Companies like ClickUp right now, 3-1. You don't think they've had layoffs over there? But no, they're becoming more efficient with what they're doing. And I hope that these people find new jobs in the blue collar trades. But the trades can't forget that you have to be efficient too. The world is going to demand more of you, and you have to rise to the occasion with the technology that's available to you right now. Don't fall into the trap that this gentleman I spoke with on Friday does, thinking that if you just do a great job, I'm going to continue doing things the way that I have, and it's going to continue to work for you. It's not. Let me explain quickly for everybody why referrals are going to die in the next 10 years, why referrals are going to die in the next 36 months for blue collar businesses. I want you to think about this. The reason referrals work is because somebody doesn't know where to go to solve their problem. I need a pool put into my home. Hey, Anthony, you just had a pool put in your house, right? Hey, what company did you use? That's how referral works, everybody, right? I need something. I don't know who to trust and who to go to. I go to somebody else. Now, because of the dissemination of a message quicker and more efficiently, as soon as I begin to practically think about that pool or do one search for it, I'm going to be hit with company after company that can fulfill my needs. I don't need to go to Anthony because the information is more readily available to me now. And as companies become better at how they use AI, the need for the referral goes away because I'll be able to build trust and authority with my content targeted and retargeted at a specific person. You no longer need the referral. So companies, wake up. The referral is dying. It will continue to die as companies become more efficient at how they target potential customers. The trades is the last one to see this, but it will be hit hard in the next 36 months. And as you see your referral volume go down, understand why. It's because a company in your area understands how to target the customers that once would go to their coworker and go, hey, where can I find a roof? Who should I have repair my AC system? They won't need to do that anymore because the right company is going to find them and put their content in front of them first. You got to get with it, everybody. It's happening right in front of our eyes right now. What do you think about that, Anthony?
Definitely agree. And honestly, too, it's like when the internet came out, or like when people started getting computers and everything, it's like, imagine that person not jumping in and putting ads on there and just being like, oh, I'm going to put my ad on the newspaper. It's like, no, you got to start with the times. And so this is one of those revolutions that are going on right now with AI. You got to get ahead of it before everyone starts getting ahead of it, before you start slowing down.
It's happening right here. Okay. The horse and buggy is disappearing, everybody. The car and the airplane is here. All right. Not a terrible thing. We understand the cycles of how business works. Now you have to evolve. Now, speaking of evolving, one Michigan town said no to an AI data center, but it's happening anyway, folks. Listen, if you're not up to date on what data centers are, I want you to think about this. A warehouse full of computers that everything runs through. I'm talking about your phone, every Netflix show, every ChatGPT answer gets thrown your way. All of it runs through these data centers, okay? Now imagine one of these data centers is the size of 30 football fields. Folks, these are going up all over the country. And the reason is because it takes a lot more computing to do your search on Claude than it does a simple Google search for Blue Collar Media Group. Because what it's going to do is provide you an immense amount more information. So it takes more energy to make that happen. Thus, we have to build data centers. A town in Michigan said, nah, we don't want these data centers to come here because we know it's going to pollute the water. It's going to kill the land. We don't want that in our backyard. And they still went through with it anyway. I want this to be a lesson to people in Texas, Arkansas, Florida. Just because you don't want something to come to your city, it's going to be the politicians who end up voting on it. And in this case, in Michigan, even though the people said no, the people they voted for said yes. This needs to be something that you look at and who you vote for. I don't care if you're voting Democrat or Republican. Data centers are coming across the country. They're big, they're ugly, and they take a lot of resources. So you need to decide now as you look into voting for 2026, 2028, and on, is this something that you're willing to vote for another party on, another politician on? Ask the questions to the people that are running at the local level, because these data centers are not stopping. There are going to be more and more need as more and more complicated AI searches go. So you need to be up to date on how your politicians feel about these data centers. Anthony, when I look at this stuff, man, I think to myself, these data centers, man, are massive and they are not going to stop, brother. 30 football fields. I want people just to think about the massive size and quantity of computing power that it is taking right now to be able to do the searches on Claude that everybody is doing, or Chat GPT that everyone does. It used to be on Google, you put in a thing like, pool company near me, roofer near me, and it would come up with a simple list of websites and some suggestions for you. Now, if you put that in, you're going to get a dissertation about all the roofing companies near you. You're going to learn about where they are, their history. These 3 are recommended to you. These 3 have the highest ratings, blah, 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 blah. And it never stops. That takes more power to make that happen. And is no end in sight for these data centers popping up everywhere. The only solution that I've seen, and this is how, again, I want to talk about how AI jobs evolve. People go, oh, no, data centers. Okay. What if there were in-home data centers? These are being proposed by NVIDIA right now. NVIDIA is the first, you may have heard of them, they're the chip maker. They're the ones who make all these powerful chips so that AI can run. NVIDIA is proposing in-home data centers so that everything in your house, just like you have a wireless, like a router, instead you have a data center. That would include your router. That would include everything that runs through there, so that you have one center where all of your information is being able to be stored, transferred, the speed, all of that right there for you. It's like your own little power hub right there in your home. So what I would ask people is, do you think a data center installer, home installer existed today? No, it doesn't exist today. But what would happen in 3 years? That could be a booming industry for people that may not be doing HVAC install, or they may not be fixing thermostats on houses, because maybe that job is handled by an AI bot. But there always will be an evolution of jobs. And I think the in-home data center could be the next place that people go who are electricians, who are looking for the next thing that people are going to be interested in. And so while these data centers are popping up and there's nothing people can do about it, it's going to come down to what politicians allow and don't. I also think there's some silver lining in that, as people say no to these, the alternatives will present themselves, which could be in-home data centers right there in your house to power everything that you need right there for you.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be pretty kind of cool if you have like your own data center at home. And
yeah,
honestly, like right now, what is it? 3 football fields?
30.
Like 30.
Yeah, 30.
But,
line up 30 football fields in a row.
But like what was it? When like the 60s, when they launched people into space, and then you looked at like how big that computer was. That was like 15 megabytes. And
yep.
And now our phones have like so much more, and how big that center was just to do that. It might be big now, but I feel like in 20 years, they're going to be so small. It's like, oh, it took 30 football fields for that.
That's we can only do it
we have it on my phone right now, a data center.
That is such a good point. It might just be something that clicks on. We'll probably be wearing it at that time, probably a chip that we insert into ourselves. That's an updated data center by that time. But you're right. You're right. Because the stuff, what used to take a room of computing power now is we could fit into a little phone like that if we wanted to. I mean, we could fit into a chip like that.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Like, I think that people are not looking at that, Anthony. That's such a great point. The amount of computing power the necessity for computing power will grow, but so will our ability to get more from less power, if that makes like it won't take nearly as much power to get the output that we're going to need in 30 years, right? Just like 30 years ago, it would take a building this size to get what we get in our phone. Mm-hmm. Such a great point, man. I love that. That's a great optimistic way to look at this. And I think you're absolutely correct. That's what will happen. And then these giant warehouses will turn into like art studios or something. You know what I mean? Like they'll turn into like restaurants that people turn into, and like, like when they take these old places, and they turn them into something. We got to figure out where that bar is downtown Orlando.
Yeah, it's crazy,
bro. Downtown Orlando. Somebody, what is it? It's like a country western. Looks like a country western bar that was shut
Yeah,
down.
it's like it was from like the freaking 1800s, I think, and
Heck yeah.
it's so cool. And it's just abandoned. No, it's not even like abandoned in the sense that it's like bad, like it's graffiti. It's perfect inside, but it's just there rotting away. And it's like, why doesn't someone open it up, make it cool, do something? Because honestly, I don't know if you go to downtown at night. It's awful.
Downtown Orlando is the worst downtown in all of America.
I couldn't agree more.
It's awful. I don't care where you go, where you live at right now. You go to downtown Orlando, expect to be disappointed every single time, whether you live here or not. Number one, not safe. Everybody knows it is not a safe place to go. The stabbings, the shootings, the violence. People pour over into the streets and they sit there and they loiter and the police do nothing about it. And we think you never feel safe. The catcalling downtown Orlando. If you're a woman downtown, good luck walking through a group of people, because I'm telling you, it seems dangerous. I've been behind women where they walk through and there's literally anxiety that I have watching it go down. That if you're a couple, I've been down there with my ex. It's extremely stressful. You've got men that are approaching, guys who are drunk. You're sitting there having to go between, do I defend for her, just move on? The people are crap. All right. Bar owners are attempting to do everything they can, Anthony, to try to keep these places open. They're getting no help from the city at all to make it happen. The places downtown, you can barely afford to live in them. Okay, like good people, average people, it's tough for them to find a living place downtown. And they're going to make it more expensive, which frankly, I don't have a problem with, but you've got to have some amenities downtown. There's no good food either down there. There's a couple maybe decent restaurants. There's one steakhouse down there. Other than that, crap downtown. It's 3 streets is about all that it is. I mean, you've got Wall Street, you've got Church Street, and you've got Orange Ave. There you go, everybody. And it's probably, I would say probably about a couple dozen bars now that you can go to. Half of them are dive bars. There's no good place where you can go for a good drink, in my opinion. I'm talking about a good drink to me means a good crowd. I'm talking about a drink that's anywhere from $18 to $24, okay? You got a crowd in there that's got a little disposable income, not looking to start crap. There isn't any place to go in downtown Orlando. All it is just a series of dive bars, okay, with trash in them, in my opinion. And by trash, I want to be clear, people who have nothing to lose. And when you go into these places, it feels like I'm one conversation away, bumping somebody the wrong way from where who knows what could happen. It's dangerous. The city needs to step in because I promise this, I know a lot of the bar owners down there. They're trying their best to run a good establishment. But yet the city is not doing their job to support bar owners right now. And it's turned downtown into a crapshoot of what it used to be. And now you've got these poor bar owners trying to hold on to their business while they just watch the clientele around them just fold into just disgustingness. And they're trying in the meantime to keep up with rent, to keep paying their bills and their employees and keep the lights on. It's a very difficult thing that's going on in downtown Orlando right now.
Yeah, and that bar that I was telling you about, it's historic. It's so cool. And it's like 1800s, like instead of building new places, just renovate the old places, and it's kind of cool. Like it's
the problem, Anthony, is that nobody wants to invest in downtown right now because the city is not investing in it.
Yeah.
And so you've got these bar owners who are down there. You've got these restaurant owners that are there, and they want more business. They want to support, like, hey, bring people in. I want to give a good product, good food, good drinks, good service. But yet the city is not supporting them with their policies. It's not supporting them with parking. It's not supporting them with police support. It's not supporting them with the people around there, like the laws, the taxes, everything, the rent, all this stuff. The city is doing nothing to support these people. And in the meantime, the people that also suffer are citizens who don't want to go downtown and are looking for alternatives right now. But because Orlando's the armpit of America, we don't have any places that we can go. And there's like Mills now has become a thing. Have you been over to Mills Ave, like the whole area over there? I mean, it's just a bunch more dive bars is all that it is.
I think I kind of like the Mills area. I feel like it's more, I feel like the local downtown, like for locals to go, rather than like, they're not going to go to downtown locals, but then they go to Mills. So you're like
that's the crowd is better there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
At least in Mills, I don't know, created an environment where you feel safe.
Yeah, 100%.
The problem with downtown is you don't feel safe anywhere you go. There are a couple bars down there. I'll tell you, I'll shout out a couple bars. Swigs, okay? Always trying to be good people behind the bar, doing a good job. It's a nice little dive bar. Love it there. Bullet Bar, Batty, all those guys, like, shout out to you all, man. Great bar, great stuff. They're still trying to put on a good product over there. Mathers still continues to try to put on a good product there. My favorite place closed, Dapper Duck, or probably about 6 months ago. That was my go-to place. Dapper Duck closed. What was it? Stagger Inn still puts on a decent product over there because it's only left Country Bar that's left right now. There's just nothing there for people who want to just go out and have a drink, maybe with a few buddies. Casey's still pouring good drinks over there, strong drinks at Casey's, still getting doubles for single prices there. But I can name on one hand how many good establishments are still running it that way, or how many establishments are running their business in a good way. The rest of them have given up. So many different bars have closed because downtown Orlando, they're done with it. They're like, you know what? I can't make any money here, and I've got nobody to support me down here. And the people that live downtown don't want to actually just walk down from their building and go downtown for a drink or a meal because there's no good food, and they don't like the crowd. They hate it.
One other thing, kind of going off of that point, that Orlando needs to do better. That's Sunrail.
Oh, Sunrail needs to change. Yep.
They're not even open on the weekends. I would love to not have to paper park and just.
Whoa, the Sunrail's not open on the weekends?
No, it's
hold
only
on. Look that
weekdays.
up. Look that up. You're telling me right now
100%.
the Sunrail isn't open on the weekends?
Yeah,
that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Weekday. So if I wanted to go to downtown, I have like a Sunrail in Maitland, like 5 feet away from me, and I would love to take it to downtown, come back, but I can't because it's only on the weekdays.
So you mean to tell me I cannot catch that Sunrail from Winter Park to anywhere close to downtown, that Winter Park location? I can't catch it on the weekends?
Nope, only Friday nights.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I know.
Who the hell made this policy up? Hey, where's this? Orlando, what are you doing? Like, we're going to run a train that's for passengers, but not run it on the weekends?
Yeah.
Who's the brainiac who thought of this? That's so counterintuitive of what you would ever think is a good policy. Who's the moron who thought of that, bro? My Lord. But right now, I want to transition into our fourth story of the day, everybody. I'm telling you right now, Central Florida, the housing market has officially flipped to a buyer's market. And it's no wonder, all right? So across Orange, Seminole, volusia, and Lake counties, if you're a local here, of the 1,394 homes for sale right now of Orange County, Seminole, volusia, and Lake counties, there are 1,394 homes for sale right now. Get this, with price reductions. More than half of them, 753 homes, have been sitting unsold for over 60 days. Sellers are dropping their prices, and they are still not getting offers, everybody. And the rankings came out. Jacksonville was just ranked the worst large housing market in the entire United States. Tampa came in third. Miami also near the bottom. So what is happening here is that home prices, they're readjusting. For instance, in Punta Gorda, that's in South Florida, homes were 57% overpriced back in 2022. Today, they are slightly underpriced. It went from 57% overpriced to 0.03% underpriced. That is a huge gap. Now, what does this mean to the average American? Because I want you guys to understand why does this matter to just anybody, whether you're in a blue-collar business, whether you're in the trades, whether you're just somebody who, I don't know, runs a mattress store, okay? It's because people feel poorer than they did 4 years ago. Think about it. A home that was worth $400,000 in 2020, it was worth $650,000 in 2023. That extra $250,000 in equity was not actual cash in their pocket, but they felt like they had more money in their bank account. Now, that home that's $650,000 in 2023 is now worth, let's say, $580,000. That's a $70,000 difference that they feel not in their pocketbook, not in the cash that they have, but in what's called they feel that loss. And let me see what it's called, because they had a number for this. I can't remember what it was called, but it's a trick. It's you feel like you are poorer right now than you were just 3 years ago. If you're a business, we've talked about blue collar businesses right now, and you are thinking about this, I want you to understand the psychology of a homeowner looking to make a project improvement to their home, getting a new roof, landscaping, a new kitchen, a remodel, all of this stuff. 3 years ago, they felt like, man, my housing value is going up. I have more equity in my home. I have more money to play with. I'm going to make that investment of $30,000 into my kitchen. Today, that person doesn't feel that way. They see the values of their home going down, and they see that evening out, and they don't want to make that investment because they feel poorer. When people feel poorer, they're less likely to make big choices with their money. They're not going to make the big investment into their home because we're going to wait on it a little bit. We're going to think about it. So as you begin to look at this, I want you to think about what businesses are going to be able to evolve to the buyer of today. If somebody's not going to put on a new roof, maybe they're going to do a roof repair. If they're not going to do a full kitchen remodel, they may be looking at doing a cabinet refacing inside of their kitchen. If you are a blue collar business, you can evolve to make sure that you take that business from your competitors, but don't pretend here in Central Florida that we are still in a market where people can skyrocket prices and homes are just going to fly off the shelf. As I said, a lot of these homes have been sitting there for over 60 days. They're dropping the prices and they're still not going anywhere. This is because people are feeling the pinch of the market and they're saying, hold on, I'm not going to make that move. I'm going to rent for a little bit. I'm going to go to that, long-term rental and see how things shake out in the next 3 to 6 months before I go putting money down on a large investment like that. You'll see this in the car market as well when it comes to luxury cars. People may be willing to lease. They might not be looking to purchase. There are some things that happen in a market like this, and we're seeing it right now in Central Florida as people here are feeling poor. You see that one, Anthony? Anyone on that one?
No, I mean, I think you really hit it home on that one because, really, it's, it's kind of definitely interesting now. Like, me and my fiance are talking. We're like, should he look at buying a home right now? Because the housing market's come down compared to what it was before. A couple years ago, it was insane.
Yes, it's way down. I mean, if you're a buyer, you have confidence. You got a good paycheck. Hope you're here for a long time.
Yeah.
So I love working with Anthony. No one's stealing from me. But I do believe you're right. I mean, if you were going to buy, is there good opportunities that are out there? Yes, there are better opportunities than there were a couple of years ago because of where the values are at currently right now. But you've also got to have the confidence as a buyer to go out there and make that decision. And a lot of people don't have that. And the people that are sitting there and they're watching the equity in their home disappear because prices are readjusting from where they were post-pandemic, they don't feel as confident. And I think that perfect storm right now is causing people to go, let me hold off on big projects. Let me hold off on big purchases. Let me hold off and let me save money and think about doing something a little bit later or look for alternatives instead of paying all of that money up front. All right, last two stories that we have here today. I can't believe I'm mentioning this one right here. I didn't even know the song, but boy, is it a lesson 101 in marketing today, folks. Olivia Rodrigo, she dropped her song last month, and I'm telling you, this thing could be an absolute just textbook display of how marketing should work in 2026. Now, if you're like me and maybe you were not familiar, Olivia Rodrigo, she's a pop star, 23 years old. The woman sells out stadiums. I've seen some of her live stuff now. Absolutely incredible. She released a song called Drop Dead back on April 17th. So it's been about a month. It was just a normal song release, but within 48 hours, TikTokers had used the song and turned it into something completely different. It's a storytelling template that is now being used by brands across the world. Go listen to the song. We did, okay? And it's a beautiful thing. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. Not my style, but I see why it's being used by so many different brands. It starts off a little bit slow, okay. And then it has a nice drop. And when you're looking for a song that can be accompanied with your brand, you look for things like that. It builds, it builds, it builds, and then it drops and you show the brand and it brings excitement. I don't know if Olivia Rodrigo planned this for her song or knew that so many different lifestyle brands would take it on as the anthem for their brand, for their product, for their service. But it is taking on its own life right now across social media platforms. Not because the song is something that people relate to and that they love, but it can be used for different purposes, and businesses are seeing that and they're jumping on board with it. In addition, because so many people are jumping on board, the sound, the audio continues to be repeated over and over again among different brands, and thus skyrockets her song to the top of the charts. She makes more money and she wants to make more music. Everybody wins. This is all about how songs can be used today to influence how people purchase brands and how that brand is looked at. When I hear this song now, I'm gonna immediately think, oh, Olivia Rodrigo. I'm gonna immediately associate it with this video. If you haven't seen the video, she's like walking through like the halls of Versailles, talking about this dude. It's pretty entertaining if you want to know the truth. But this is Marketing 101 2026. How to get other brands to do the marketing for you. She is on top of her game. This is why she's number one at what she does. It's not an accident. If you believe that this is all just, oh, okay, well, she got lucky with a great song and now people picked it up, you're wrong. This is how you get things done today on a low budget. You've got to create great content, i.e. the song, and you have to have other people use that content to further their business and further their cause. This is a beautiful thing that she did right here. I'm not a fan of the music. I might become a bigger fan because I kind of like the song, to be honest with you, Anthony. But it's all about how people use your content for their own brand, and she dominated this one.
Yeah, I don't really listen to Olivia Rodrigo, but she's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But no, that was genius what she did, and like it's taken off. So it's already like 28 million
on just YouTube alone.
Yeah, just YouTube alone.
We're talking like hundreds of millions across TikTok. Hundreds of millions. I mean, this song is being used for ads, commercials. It's being used in personal branding. It's being used everywhere because of its ability to kind of build, and then drop. And that is such a great thing when you're trying to promote a product. You want to build suspense and capture people, and then you want to hit them with it. And this song does it beautifully. And it's no wonder that it's taken off like it has. All right, our last story of the day is my plea to the New York Knicks. Please, New York, if you have not heard this story, New York, get Mitch and Hannah Widmeyer courtside for a play-by-play announcement in the next series at Madison Square Garden, ASAP now, quick, fast, and in a hurry. If you want everyone to become a Knicks fan, you make this happen now. If you have not heard this story, it is the feel-good story of the week. 8 years ago, a young woman by the name of Hannah Widmeyer was in a terrible car accident as a teenager. The accident left her with a traumatic brain injury. She's a paraplegic. Her whole life changed. Her brother Mitch had a dream, okay? He wanted to be the New York Knicks radio play-by-play announcer, and he had actually worked towards it. But after the accident, he decided he was going to devote his life to his sister. Mitch and Hannah watch every Knicks game together. And one day, Mitch noticed something. He noticed that his sister was watching his play-by-play announcement of the game more than she was actually watching the game itself. And so he began to record some of this stuff that he was doing on the play-by-play. And it caught fire. The clips online started to get 1,000 million views. And the country, it has caught fire. Mitch is now calling every single Knicks game for Hannah and people across the country who are tuning in. It has been covered by ESPN. It's been covered by NBA Today on May the 8th. Knicks themselves have stepped in with different players sending messages from the locker room. And Mitch has a signature call, pass the sugar. Hannah, pass it, pass it, pass it. It is showing up everywhere, all over TikTok, all over X. And let me tell you this. Here is what needs to happen. The New York Knicks need to call up Mitch and Hannah and get them courtside ASAP in the next series. You need to give this guy one chance at a play-by-play. This is how you get people to become a Knicks fan for life. I'm not a Knicks guy. I will be a Knicks guy. You make this moment happen in the playoffs for this man and his sister. Make this guy's dream come true. People want it. You want to talk about a crowd erupting? Give this guy the mic and let this guy go to town and give him an opportunity if you're the New York Knicks. This is the story that people love. This is what sports is about, that moment of redemption, right? This guy gets his chance alongside of his sister to make a beautiful moment, and the Knicks can make it happen. If they don't do this, they missed the boat completely. The New York Knicks need to bring this guy in and make this happen. Mitch, Hannah, courtside, play-by-play, Knicks, no question, it needs to get done. I'm pleading. Folks, share this video if you want this guy courtside, and how could you not? It's just a beautiful story.
Yeah, I love that, and it's just heartbreaking, but it's also at the same time just so loving, and so beautiful, dude.
This is everything. I mean, this story has everything. The sister who's in a terrible car accident, she's sitting there. She's watching her brother just give up his life to be there with her because he loves her, and he's awesome. And you know what? He's damn good at it too.
Yeah.
I'm listening to his play-by-play. The guy can freaking call plays, man. So what are we doing? Stop listening to the guy. He's got like a little camera. He's setting up doing it. Man, Sony, everyone, get on board. Get this guy a studio, play-by-play. Get him courtside so we can figure this thing out. Folks, if you haven't got a chance, go watch it. But Mitch and Hannah Widmeyer, that's Widmeier, and you will just absolutely fall in love with this story like I did over the weekend. It is a young man who is the best of America, the best of us, and a young woman who is obviously had some tragedy in her life, and he is doing everything he can for his sister. That is to be applauded, commended. It is a beautiful thing, and now the New York Knicks, you need to step up and get this guy and his sister courtside, and let's hear an announcement from Mitch Widmeyer for his sister Hannah. We need to make this happen. Share it. Make sure this story gets all the news that it can, because this young man and his sister deserve it. That's what we got today, everybody. We went a little bit long on our stories. Hope you enjoyed this one right here. We'll cut this one up. We'll get it over to YouTube. And if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe. We do appreciate it very much. That way, when we come out with the stuff, you can be notified. That's it, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow on Tuesday. This is the Patrick Carr Show. Have a good one. And Griffin's down there just chilling out.
Yep.